welcome back. It has been quite a summer for us, a summer of road tripping actually. In the last month and a half, we have put about 6,000 miles onto our car. We have driven all over the place and we have loved every minute of it. Well, maybe not every single minute, but I want to share with you today some road trip tips that make road tripping with a family, even with young kids, not only something you can survive, but also something that you might actually enjoy. So let's get started. Okay, the first one might feel a little bit cliche, a little bit obvious, but I really believe that when it comes to road tripping with the family, that attitude is everything. And especially if you're the mom or the dad of the family, you set the tone for the whole trip and for the whole family. So you have to start the road trip with a positive attitude. One of the things that we've done in our family is decide that our vacation as a family begins when we leave our house, not when we arrive at our destination. So even if the road trip is 2 or 3 days long, that whole time is part of the family vacation. And so we try to treat it like it is by making sure that it's still fun, involved, that we're having a good time, that we're enjoying this family time together, and that we're trying to make it special rather than just the distance between point A and point B. So attitude is everything. And one thing that might help you with your road trip attitude is to develop a little bit of a mantra. If you don't know what a mantra is, it's something like a phrase or a sentence that you repeat often to yourself to help you kind of remember whatever it is that you want to remember. And so for road tripping, one that has worked for me is something like, we have plenty of time, there's joy in the journey. And I know that sounds very cheesy and silly, but it helps so much when you're in the thick of it with kids whining or complaining, or if something goes wrong with the car, or everyone's hungry and there's not food to be found for the next 30 miles. Remembering that you have plenty of time and that there's joy in the journey can help just ease your mind to remember what the purpose of all of this is, which when you're road tripping with your family is probably to create memories and have a wonderful time together. So create some sort of a mantra that helps you and that keeps you in the right mindset so that you can really have a great attitude and set the tone for your family. Tip 2 is that you've got to be prepared, and I like to prepare ahead of time with drinks, snacks, and entertainment. The way I like to prepare ahead with drinks is by buying an entire case of water bottles and putting them in the back of the car. I also pull them out and put them in all of the cup holders around the car so that anywhere along the road, if someone says they're thirsty, there's a bottle of water within arm's reach. For treats, I think part of the fun, and this goes along with the first tip of having a great attitude and making the whole trip really fun, one of the things that I like to focus on when we're on the road is that we're gonna have some fun at the gas stations and stops along the way, and so I like to let my kids choose treats all along the way. Maybe not at every single stop, but at least every couple stops they get to choose a special treat inside the gas station. But that doesn't mean that I don't also prepare myself with treats inside the car. I like to get candy and things that we don't often have at home. The dollar store is a great place to pick up boxes of candy and bags of candy that you might not find other places or that might feel kind of extra special to your kids. And I just stash the glove compartment full of treats so that when we need a little pick-me-up along the road, there's something nearby and something fun and exciting for the kids to eat. If you're more of a healthy mom, you can do the same thing with fruit or with carrot sticks or with hummus dip or whatever it is that your kids get excited about or that you want to be feeding them. Just stash a few extras along the way so that you have something fun to pull out. As far as entertainment, we feel like road tripping is definitely a time to embrace technology. On top of having a DVD player in the car, I like to get a selection of new or fun DVDs for our kids to watch. And one thing that we've found to be really fun along the way is utilizing Redbox, because there's a Redbox in almost every major city anywhere in America, and so you can pick up a few movies that you haven't seen before without the commitment of buying them and just return them at the next stop. We also have an Amazon Kindle for each of our kids that are preloaded with games and books and other types of shows and movies that they each enjoy that are appropriate for their age levels, and that's really fun to just be able to give them something that they're familiar with and know how to play with, and it feels like some special entertainment time. In addition to technology, I like to stock up with coloring books, crayons, markers, things of that nature. My kids are really into coloring right now, and so it works for us. But if your kids are really into puzzles, maybe go get some board games. If your kids are really into Legos, bring a little bag of Legos along. Whatever your kids are into right now, that's what you have to be prepared to pack. And don't expect them to just sit and be happy and quiet and look out the window, because as much as we would all like that, it's just not gonna happen. So make sure you're prepared with some super fun activities along the way. A another tip that I have for you to survive and be happy along the way is to make sure that you're prepared to keep your car a little bit more organized than you might on a regular basis of just daily use. When you're living in the car essentially for multiple hours during the day, it gets a lot dirtier a lot quicker. And so there's a couple tips that I have for keeping the car somewhere that you want to keep getting back into. One of them is to not just bring a bag or two, but pack an entire roll of garbage bags. Take it out of the box from the grocery store, stick it in your side door in your glove compartment, and every time that you stop for a gas stop, a bathroom stop, a lunch stop, pull out a full garbage bag and have everyone in the car, have your kids help you pick up all of the garbage, whether that's broken crayons, whether it's bottles or cans from the last drink stop, whether it's wrappers from to-go food that you've had or from treats on hand. Clean the car out at every single stop. In addition to getting dirty along the way, your car is gonna get kind of stinky. It might take a few hours, maybe a couple days, but it will definitely get there to the point where you open the door and you wonder how you're gonna get back in. I like to keep on hand some Tubby Todd natural baby spray. It's a mist that just is so wonderful smelling, and it's all natural, so I don't feel bad at all spritzing it in the back of the car and in the front of the car and over all of the kids and whatever's happening back there. And it really does just lighten up the smells in the car and make it all feel a lot easier to get back into. That brings me to another thing about cars and detailing. I have a video about cleaning out your mom-mobile, detailing it yourself, and I'll link to that in the description box and put a little tag here for that. But when you arrive at your destination, it's not a bad idea to give your car a full detail like I referred to in that video. In addition to the garbage bags and the Tubby Todd spray, I like to have a stash of baby wipes on hand just for wiping up spills, for wiping up messes, for cleaning off the dashboard when it gets dusty, cleaning out the dog hair when the dog's been in there for a little while. Baby wipes are just a good answer to everything. As far as logistics, families are also different, and how you drive, how many hours you drive, and all of those things will depend a lot upon your family and your style. Dave and I happen to not be great nighttime drivers. We both get really tired at night and we want to go to sleep, and so with the ages of our kids and ourselves not being great at driving at night, it has worked out for us to plan on daytime driving. We try to leave around 6 or 7 in the morning. We max out about 10 hours of drive time during the day, which means that with the stops included, we'll usually get to where we're going around 8 or 9 at night, perfect to check into a hotel. And that's part of the fun too. Our kids love staying at hotels. They love the free breakfast at the ones we stay at. They love the big bouncy beds. And so that contributes to the whole idea of there being joy in the road trip journey. In addition to just stopping at night, we like to do little stops during the day. If we see a cool billboard that has, you know, the world's largest ice cream cone on display, then we're gonna pull off and see it. If we see that we're gonna stop in a town that's famous for its barbecue, you better believe that we're gonna go get some of that barbecue. Part of the fun of being on the road where you can detour as many times as you like is that you can get to see things that you wouldn't otherwise see, and you get to kind of explore the country in a new way. And so we love taking advantage of different spots locally to be able to just enjoy the journey of the road trip. Okay, finally, I just want to leave you with 2 favorite road trip games. One of them was new to me this summer and we loved it, and you may have heard of them already, but let me tell you. The first one is the license plate game. This is where you write down all 50 states, and you, as you're driving, you're checking license plates and checking them off as you go. You try to see a license plate from each of the 50 states wherever you're going. Pro tip, gas stations and hotel parking lots are a perfect place to try to check off some of the ones that you think you might not get. The second game is similar. It's the alphabet game. This is one that my kids and I love to play even when we're just driving around the neighborhood. You start with A and go through Z, finding letters of the alphabet on signage and license plates and store displays all around the town, and you can do it as a race, so each person is managing their own alphabet and trying to get from A to Z the quickest, or you can do it like we like to as a family. This really helps kids that are learning their letters and learning to read and things as well to start recognizing the letters in different formats around town, and it's just a fun way to be engaged together and maybe take a break from technology a little bit along the way to interact with each other. I think that's it. I mean, that's a lot of stuff, right? But we have been road tripping for a long time, since our babies were babies, and they're growing up and we're still loving it, and our kids love it. And I think because we've created sort of a road trip culture in our family, family, it's really fun for all of us to hop in the car and take a weekend getaway, even if it's 6 or 7 or 10 hours away. We all feel really excited and great about getting there. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss anything as I share tips and tricks for living a creative, adventurous lifestyle as a mom. And if you have any favorite road trip tips that I missed, I would love to see those in the comments so we can all learn from each other.